The world of fitness is no stranger to big personalities. From the gym floor to the digital screen, these figures captivate audiences with their unique styles and approaches. But few are as controversial as Greg Doucette and Dr. Mike Israetel.
Before you watch this freaking video, like it! Like the button right now!
These two titans have carved out significant niches in the online fitness community. I'm happy to say that I've been watching both of them for years, and it's amazing to see how their popularity has grown. They've both helped me so much with my own personal bodybuilding and weight loss journey. Coach Greg with his booming voice resembling the parrot from Aladdin.
Oh, I'm gonna have so much fun with this binge eating disorder of mine. It's so exciting. Watch this. Oh, I got Nutella, I got peanut butter. Just the Nutella and peanut butter alone, just those two little tubes is more than she should be eating in a sitting.
And No BS Attitude has amassed millions of followers. He's a straightforward, blunt manlet who resonates with newbies and seasoned athletes that need clear, direct advice. He's a charismatic, no-holds-barred fitness influencer who never gave up.
It was a bad time in my life. I had boxes. I didn't have any money. I owed money, my maxed credit cards. I had nothing going for me. People didn't want to hire me because they didn't want to be associated with me. And I never gave up. And I kept fighting and I kept trying. And then look what I did with that.
With his kinesiology degree as his foundation, he's built a massive following based on raw intensity, blunt honesty, and a relentless pursuit of policing the fitness industry.
And so following drinking what appeared to be 3 shots of alcohol, he's now going to go to the gym. I highly discourage this. Drinking alcohol before going to the gym, especially if you're not natural. Thankfully, The Rock is 100% natural. He would never use performance-enhancing drugs. Clearly, in his 50s, just like Michael Hearn, these guys are the epitome of fitness.
Once a lowly and unappreciated manlet in the bodybuilding world, Greg caught fire during the reign of COVID-19, where his YouTube channel blew up.
Coach Greg, and we are going to discuss the top 10 foods people think are healthy, but really are not.
After that, he left his normal life and his normal wife behind.
And today, I'm going to give you a house tour, car tour. You're going to see where I live, what it's all about, what's going on. And so let's get right into it.
He now proudly shines a light on unscrupulous fitness influencers that plague the space, promoting misinformation and outright lies for clout and profit.
Not exaggerating, not kidding, and he's got his blood work to prove it. Considering he's only 21 years of age, it's not looking good for Toji. You're all rooting for this guy, cheering for him, wishing he was your brother. Why? So that you could bury him? So that he could experience an early funeral?
He gives out workout advice, diet, and lifestyle tips, and has even become a reporter to the fitness industry. If you want to learn and be entertained, he is a go-to for excellent, life-changing information. Trust me, I know from firsthand experience. He's helped me to go from approximately 300 pounds down to 145 pounds shredded, and it only took about a year. Thank you so much, Greg. Dr. Mike, on the other hand, has taken a more scientific approach for most of his career on YouTube. His content is full of detailed explanations and evidence-based recommendations that rarely disagree with the research that has been done on the topics that he speaks about. With years of rigorous study, he's a deep well of knowledge and waters his audience through evidence-based, perverted, and disturbing content.
I'm getting in there. I'm gonna have sex with everything, bro.
He's a bodybuilding coach, PhD, and the creator of the RP Hypertrophy app. He backs up his recommendations with research and experience. His methodical and analytical style frustrates most of his viewers, but they stick around for the nuggets of gold that get dropped throughout his videos. Want to know how to lose weight? You'll know by the end of his video, but you just have to stick around through about 10 tangents to figure it out.
Folks, Dr. Mike here for Renaissance Periodization, and today I'm going to teach you about a crazy growth hack that can multiply your muscle by 1,000% and can put money in your bank account. Remember when you were walking around the street and no one would talk to you and you had raggedy clothes? Now you're on a yacht full of supermodels. No, I'll do you one better. If you zoom in super close to the actual construction of the yacht, it is made of the ossified skeletons of supermodels. You want to live this life, yes? Good, you're here just for the right video.
Together, these guys represent two sides of the fitness coin, entertainment and education. Each offer a distinct pathway to achieving fitness goals, and both have been deemed extremely valuable in the industry. But their relationship is far from harmonious. Their differing philosophies have often led to heated debates.
Why is Mike risking his health, risking his life in order to get up on stage? I'll tell you why.
The two have publicly clashed, their disagreements spilling over into social media feuds and video takedowns. These conflicts draw significant attention from their followers. Not only do you learn how to build muscle and lose weight, you're also staying tuned to find out who's going to get slapped the hardest in the next video.
Coach Greg, and in today's video, I'm living rent-free in Mike Israetel's head. He can't stop thinking about me. I'm always on his mind, perhaps during the day, in his dreams, or in his nightmares. And this time, he lashes out, calls me a sociopath. I mean, I don't understand this guy. Is he in fact projecting? Is he assuming that I'm exactly what he is?
Their rivalry has become a source of fascination for many fitness enthusiasts, including myself. It adds a layer of drama that really does keep things interesting. While both men are undoubtedly successful in their own right, their paths to prominence couldn't be more different. Doucette's meteoric rise to fame was fueled by his magnetic personality and ability to connect with the masses in a way that makes things simple, easy to understand, and put into practice. His videos, filled with energy and unfiltered opinions, resonated with a generation seeking a more authentic approach to fitness. He's been training in various sports since he was a kid and worked his way up the ladder to a competitive bodybuilder and coach. His dedication and hard work was evident throughout his whole life, and he has competed in 42 shows naturally, which is quite impressive. He now advocates for smarter, harder, natural training, attempting to help his audience to live longer, happier, and healthier lives.
Increase quantity and quality of life. And so when I make videos speaking about how to lose weight, keep it off for the rest of your life, I'm doing it because it's going to be beneficial. And sure, it's easier for me to say, you don't need to lose weight, healthy at any size. Can you walk for 10 minutes? Well, that's great, you're healthy. Don't worry about it, you're 100 pounds overweight, but you're going for a walk. That's great, you are fine. And that's not it. It's much harder to tell people what they need to hear. And what I do, I tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. You want to hear, you're fat and healthy at any size. Sorry, not going to do that.
He's a former IFBB pro bodybuilder and holds multiple world records in powerlifting. These achievements laid the foundation for his future success. But Doucette's real success came when he turned his attention to online content. He saw the potential of reaching a global audience through YouTube. In the beginning, he didn't think much of YouTube, simply posting videos of himself lifting. Back then, he had no idea where those videos would get him in the future. His down-to-earth personality, his honesty, and controversial opinions resonated with the viewers. People were drawn to his unfiltered, everyday Joe approach. He wasn't afraid to call out what he saw as misinformation.
Why do you have to keep making excuses on why it's someone else's fault and not just take ownership yourself? Hey, I own this. I ate too much. I was hungry. I ate the wrong food choices. I didn't do enough cardio. I own it. It's my fault, and I love my body enough to do something about it. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. I want to do cardio. I want to exercise. I want to get fit and eat healthy. If you decide to do something about it, you can make that change. Every single person on this earth can lose weight.
And this bold stance set him apart from many other fitness influencers. His videos are a mix of workout advice, diet tips, and rants against the fitness industry. This variety keeps his content fresh and engaging. And let's talk about dedication. He is not afraid to put in the work, both in the gym and in front of the camera.
I would say it's 10 to 12 videos a week. I recorded 27 videos last week before I got here, and I've recorded several while I'm here. I'll be 1 in the morning recording summaries of the video of the shows that I'm watching. Work in the morning and at night. It's always work.
He uses clickbait titles and over-the-top thumbnails to grab attention. These tactics, while sometimes controversial, were undeniably effective. And let's be honest, in this day and age, you have to use clickbait if you want to get noticed. This approach, while sometimes criticized, proved incredibly effective. His subscriber count grew rapidly during lockdown, reflecting his growing influence. Doucette's channel exploded in popularity. He's reached milestones that many could only dream of. He now has his supplement line HTLT Sups and takes every opportunity to remind everyone of how much money he has. He became known for his catchphrases, humorous skits, and willingness to engage in online feuds. This bodybuilder has made his way into homes across the globe, not only for entertainment, but to be educated on a daily basis.
Didn't you turn your YouTube channel from something like 20,000 followers to like 1 million in very quick time?
Yeah, probably in a year I went from that lower amount. I was probably one of the most, if not the most trending social media fitness influencer in the world for a solid year.
His approach made him both popular and polarizing, but there's no denying his impact. His ability to spark conversation kept him in the spotlight. Doucette's rise reflects a broader trend in online content, the power of personality and entertainment. His journey is a testament to the changing landscape of media. In contrast to Doucette's rapid ascent, Dr. Mike Israetel's rise to YouTube fame was a slow and steady climb. His content, though informative and valuable, struggled to gain the same traction as Doucette's.
Hey guys, Dr. Israetel here, continuing on in our personal training course with lecture number 4, which is on the nutrition basics. Just the real basics of nutrition so that you can help your clients change their body composition, their strength, their health, etc., not just from a training perspective, but also from a nutritional perspective. Because as we've covered before, clients will inevitably ask you about how to eat. You're their model of good health and physical fitness and appearance, hopefully, and they're going to want to know what to eat because they already know, almost all people already know that diet is very important to actual results, and they're absolutely right.
At least initially. It's here where some speculate the seeds of resentment were sown. With a PhD in sport physiology and years of experience as a competitive bodybuilder and coach, Israetel's approach was rooted in science. He founded Renaissance Periodization, a coaching company known for its evidence-based methods. His YouTube channel became an extension of this philosophy. Israetel's videos are more detailed and research-heavy, although he always takes the time out to leave some perverted jokes and flirt with Scott, the video guy.
Without clothes, at the beach, at the gym, at picking up your kids from kindergarten, wherever you choose to be naked, you end up having the situation where someone sees a thick back and they know what they're looking for. They're like, oh. And your girlfriend's like, does that guy big? Or like, what? You're like, yes, baby, shut up. He'll hear you.
He delves into the science behind muscle growth, nutrition, and training. He's not afraid to get technical using graphs, studies, and complex terminology.
A pretty theoretical topic that I want you guys to give some thought because it has a lot of applications, not just to making your training better, but even choosing your direction in training. So, starts out with goal setting. The first question of any training endeavor is, what do you want to get better at? Right? As soon as you figure out what you want to get better at, let's say it's building muscle, let's say it's improving the endurance in your legs, let's say it's working on your snatch technique, whatever you want to improve, there is necessarily an optimal way to go about improving it. Now, we may not know or be able to properly execute the 100% optimal, but it's out there. Somewhere in the universe, there exists an optimal way to train for a particular thing.
This approach may not be as immediately engaging as Doucette's straightforward and simple to understand style. Dr. Mike resonated with viewers who were looking for more than just entertainment, but credible information backed by the actual science. Israetel's channel became a go-to resource for those seeking to understand the why behind the what of fitness. The tension between Coach Greg and Dr. Mike is almost as heavy as Nikocado Avocado, but why? Could it be that Dr. Mike's frustration with Doucette's success stems from a deep-seated jealousy? After all, Doucette, with his relatively modest educational background, had managed to eclipse Dr. Mike's years of hard-earned expertise for a very long time. For years, Greg has openly talked about how Dr. Mike has a genuine disgust for him, and for years, Dr. Mike has gone out of his way to bash Coach Greg every chance he gets. The fact that Doucette is an IFBB pro, a pinnacle of bodybuilding achievement, while Dr. Mike is not, might add fuel to the fire. Coach Greg has spoken many times in the past about how although Dr. Mike is very dedicated to his craft, he just does not have the potential to become an IFBB pro champion.
And so you might be asking yourself, why is he then competing? I mean, after all, his genetics aren't elite level. He's not going to turn IFBB pro and then stand on stage against the best bodybuilders in the world. He's not going to make it to the Olympia. And so why is he in fact competing?
Or could it be the fact that an everyday layman like Greg was able to disrupt the entire fitness industry practically overnight and with no special skills, while Dr. Mike, with his years worth of knowledge and hard work, was not even able to make a splash for a very long time? Their disagreements are often aired publicly, playing out on social media and in YouTube videos.
Mike Israetel, he was on a show, it's on a YouTube channel called The Lifting Dermatologist. So Mike Israetel, he's very well educated, he has a PhD, he studies how to train and how muscles are built, he's read a lot of the research, doesn't have as much practical experience as me, so we differ in certain ways. I only have a master's degree as a PhD. Maybe he had an A+ in his PhD. Maybe he had a C. I don't know. I don't know who's smarter. I don't know who knows more. I just know that we're different. But he disagrees with a few of the things, or a lot of the things I said. But the problem is, he actually agrees. He just doesn't know it. He just doesn't know. I'll explain why. I'll go into details. By the end of it, every single person that watches this is going to agree with me.
Their followers eagerly take sides. The root of the conflict seems to stem from their differing approaches to fitness, each believing their method is superior. In the past, Doucette has alluded that Dr. Mike is too academic and too focused on the science at the expense of practicality, making fitness seem like a complex puzzle. I believe he feels that Dr. Mike's methods are overly complicated and inaccessible to the average person who just wants straightforward advice. At the same time, however, Greg has always made it a point to let Dr. Mike and the viewers on YouTube know that while these two might disagree on certain things, they actually have a lot more in common than what most might believe. He's always given credit to Dr. Mike where credit is due. This is something that we cannot say Dr. Mike has done for Greg.
Guy's already a multimillionaire, the #1 fitness influencer in the world, doesn't need the money, doesn't need to prove himself to anyone, has already proven it, has got more followers, more fans, more respected than Coach Greg, is doing better than Coach Greg, makes more money than Coach Greg, and so what does he have left to prove? Does this look like I'm putting him down? I'm saying he makes more money than me, he's more respected than me, he's doing better than me. Does this look like a guy who's jealous or envious, or a guy who's putting him up on a pedestal? Mike Israetel is here, I'm over here.
Dr. Mike has criticized Doucette's approaches and his willingness to make bold claims without always backing them up with evidence, which he finds irresponsible. He might see Doucette's approach as potentially misleading, especially for beginners who may not be able to differentiate between entertainment and sound advice, leading to confusion. Whatever the reasons, it is clear that Dr. Mike does not like Coach Greg. At one point in time, it did seem as though they were getting along and actually helped to promote each other on their YouTube channels.
Sports Physiology, is that correct?
Yep.
Okay, I got it right. Did I say your name right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Okay, awesome. Usually I mess it up, and we're honored to have you today. We're going to be talking about a ton of points. We're going to try to keep it simple so you can understand. The goal is to try to educate. Many of you know that we've had some controversy in the past. Maybe we've gone back and forth, but we're here together to try to talk about the same topics and give you our opinions on what's right. We might not agree on everything. We might disagree. Who knows? But we're going to try to educate, okay? So anything to add before we start?
Thanks for having me on, Greg. It's an honor.
This was undoubtedly Greg's idea because at that time, he was reaching out to many other fitness influencers, creating collaborations in order to build his platform. This clash of personalities highlights a fundamental tension within the fitness industry, a debate that has been ongoing for years. Is it about simplifying information for mass consumption to make fitness more approachable? Or is it about prioritizing scientific evidence and sexual perversion?
But if you're in the sauna like I am and you're like, ugh, at least there's naked dudes. Oh, gotta scratch my knee, sorry. To look at, and they're nice. They're naked, they're dudes. Checks both of my boxes. Unless that is something that turns you on, just don't go.
Even if it means alienating some viewers who might find the information too intimidating? The dynamic between Doucette and Dr. Mike has undoubtedly shaped the fitness industry. Doucette has democratized fitness, making it accessible and entertaining for millions. In fact, if it wasn't for Coach Greg, I would still weigh close to 300 pounds. I will forever be grateful. On the other hand, Israetel has brought a level of scientific rigor that has elevated the conversation, and as of late, he's blown up on YouTube, finally getting the recognition that he's deserved, even though it's taken a much longer time than it took Greg. One of the reasons for Dr. Mike's recent explosion on YouTube is that he's found a comfortable and natural way to communicate with the everyday man. He used to be much more scientific and reserved, but now his content is full of good information, humor, and perversion.
Tom Hardy is not only incredibly handsome, but is also an incredibly talented actor. Is also, I just want to meet him. I just want to be around him. I wonder how he smells. Do you guys ever think things like that? I don't. That's sinful.
Whether you like it or not, his personality now is much more enjoyable and likable than back when he was just keeping it classy. Despite the controversy, there's no denying Greg Doucette's impact on the fitness community. He's made fitness more accessible to the masses. His entertaining delivery and simple actionable advice have helped demystify fitness for many. He's not afraid to challenge conventional wisdom and use common sense in his deductions. Doucette's willingness to call out what he sees as BS in the industry has resonated with viewers. He's helped to expose some of the myths and misconceptions that often surround fitness. While his methods may not always be backed by the most rigorous science, they're often effective and easy to understand. Many times he will balance the science with common sense and give practical ways of implementing the information into your life. This has made him particularly popular with beginners who are just starting their fitness journey. Doucette's impact lies in his ability to make fitness less intimidating and more achievable for the average person. Dr. Mike's contribution to the fitness world is equally significant, albeit in a different way. He's raised the bar for evidence-based fitness advice. His commitment to scientific rigor has helped to elevate the industry beyond anecdotal evidence and bro science. His work has empowered individuals to make more informed decisions about their training and nutrition. His detailed explanations and research-backed recommendations have given viewers a deeper understanding of the why behind their workouts and diets. This has led to a more thoughtful and sustainable approach to fitness, one that's less reliant on quick fixes and more focused on long-term results. Dr. Mike is dedicated to educating and empowering individuals to take control of their fitness journeys through knowledge and science. The rivalry between Greg Doucette and Mike Israetel is a complex one, filled with ambition, frustration, and a shared passion for fitness. Whether it's driven by jealousy or simply a clash of personalities, it's a story that continues to unfold. Will we ever see a day where Dr. Mike is not angry at Greg? Will we ever see a day where he comes forward and admits to why he hates him so much? Only time will tell. The ongoing feud between Doucette and Israetel raises questions about the motivations behind their public clashes. Is it genuine disagreement about fitness methodologies, or is there an element of professional jealousy at play? Some speculate that Doucette, despite his success, may feel threatened by Israetel's academic credentials and the respect he commands within the industry.
Doesn't have as much practical experience as me, so we differ in certain ways. I only have a master's degree as a PhD. Maybe he had an A+ in his PhD. Maybe he had a C.
Others argue that Israetel, while committed to science, may envy Doucette's mass appeal and ability to connect with a wider audience. While it's possible to be a combination of factors, I genuinely believe that Coach Greg just wants everyone to get along. Either way, their differing personalities and communication styles undoubtedly contribute to the tension.
Anxiety like you would not believe.
And he's putting at his health at risk, doesn't care what it does to him, all in the search of an IPV Pro card.
Of thoughts. I think about violence all the time. Well, if your testosterone is 25 times what it's supposed to be, what the hell do you think it's going to make you think about? Another one is a marked proximate reduction of IQ. Like right now, as I talk to you, I'm on contest prep. I'm on a considerable dose of anabolics. I'm not as smart right now, and I can feel it. It's this fog, an inability to perceive a broad spectrum of positive human emotion. I live in a really beautiful area in Michigan, and I walk out and there's this pond and these trees, and I know that I like looking at them, but it's a memory to me. I go work out every morning and I look at the pond and the trees and I'm like all I feel is rage and frustration and anger. That's my daily life.
The competitive nature of the fitness industry, where views and subscribers translate to influence and income, likely exacerbates the conflict. Regardless of this crazy feud, the fitness industry is undoubtedly richer having both of these guys in it, but not richer than the individuals themselves. Both of these manlets go out of their way to remind the viewers of how much money they make at every chance they get.
So you're absurdly rich like that. So you would be done then.
Well, I'm already absurdly rich.
Well, that makes sense then.
And so he says, look, I'm already absurdly rich, but I'm also absurdly rich as well.
At the end of the day, it's up to the viewer to decide who they resonate with more, and why not both? Just because Dr. Mike and Greg don't get along, it doesn't mean that you can't take what you can from each of them and support them both in the process. The Doucette-Israetel rivalry, while entertaining, highlights a larger point about the fitness industry and life in general. There's rarely one right way to achieve a goal. Different approaches can be equally valid and effective depending on individual needs and preferences. Doucette's approach, while sometimes lacking in scientific evidence and sometimes sounding like the parrot from Aladdin, offers a valuable service. He makes fitness less intimidating and more accessible to the masses. He encourages people to take that first step. Israetel's approach, while more complex, provides a deeper understanding of the science behind fitness and bondage, empowering individuals to make informed decisions in the gym and in the bedroom. The key is to recognize the value in both approaches and to choose the one that best suits your personality, learning style, and goals. Both men have invaluable experience and information when it comes to weight loss and bodybuilding that can benefit anyone who can stay consistent. I am living proof. Have a great day, everybody, and please consider subscribing if you appreciate this content.
To those of you who have never had sex, refer to what pretend sex would probably be like, and then get a pretend glute pump. Someday you'll have the real thing. I promise. Maybe not. At least with a robot, hopefully soon. That's my plan. All of my sexist theoreticals.